Hi guys, so this is day 3 of a day in my life. Well, daily vlogging as people don't like to call it. So today I just got offered a position. I have to black this part out. For this, called the Straight Talk Speakers Bureau. Basically what that is it's through the Gender and Sexuality Resource Center here on my campus, and we go around and we talk to different people, classrooms, organizations, anything, and we just talk about what our sexuality is and everything like that. It's pod for the LGBTQIA communities. So heterosexual people, or if you're in the closets, or you're questioning what am I? This is something that we do. We go around and we help people. We're advocates for the community. And this is actually quite cool. Yesterday, I was at this leadership program, and also for LGBTQ. But they mainly focused on the Q, but also leaderships. And they brought this up, and I'm like, yes, let's do it. I want more people to understand, the community, especially me, because in it just says LGBT. And now I'm like, well, QIA is now in it. QIA is now there too. And not many people know the A. People think it's lesbian, bisexual, gay, transgender, questioning, intersex, ally. It's not. It's LGBT is correct. But also for B, it could also be bi-normal. Then the Q is queer, which I don't like saying. The I is the same as intersex, but the A is asexual. They now put us in there, so yay. And basically, going back to this, what we do is we just give information, we talk, we give our coming out stories, we get asked questions. The coordinator or whatever did say we will get some weird questions. I mean, I've already gotten some, if I'm a tree. Do I look like a tree? No. I don't reproduce on my own. That'd be kind of weird. But yeah, this is going to be, y'all can't really see me. This will be an interesting experience. And back there is a terminologies, and I'm gonna read you these. So definitions and lingo. So agendered is a person who is entirely ungendered. They're just I'm their name only. They don't have a gender. They don't want to put it under themselves. An ally, self-explanatory. An individual who is accepting and supportive. Not just accepting, you have to support too. Of people who are LGBTQIA. And who work to reflect the support in their personal beliefs, language, behaviors. Allies also take action to combat homophobia, heterosexism, and gender-based discrimination within themselves, others, and in societal institutions. Next is I hope I don't, and I hope I really don't like fuck this up. Androgyne. Person appealing and or identifying as neither man or woman, presenting a gender either mixed or neutral. I've never heard that one before. Next is an asexual. Me! Oh, thank you. Okay, sorry. Asexual. Me. A person who is not sexually attracted to anyone or does not identify with any sexual orientation. I identify the sexual orientation as asexual, but I'm hetero-romantic. If that makes sense. BDSM. Bondage, discipline / dominance, submissive / sadist, and masochism. The terms submissive and sadism and masochist refer to the debarring pleasure from inflicting or receiving pain, often in a sexual contact. The terms bondage and domination refer to playing with various power roles in both sexual and social contact. These practices are often misunderstood as abusive, or when practiced in a safe, sane, and consensual manner can be a healthy sex life. A bear. A man who has facial body hair and a cuddly body. Many men who do not have one or all these characteristics define themselves as bears, making the term a very loose one. Bear is often defined as more of an attitude and a sense of comfort with the natural masculinity and bodies. I've never heard of that one either. Berdache. What the hell is that? A genetic term used to refer to a third gender person, woman, living man. The term Berdache is generally rejected as inappropriate and offensive, by native peoples, because it's a term that was assigned to European settlers. Shut up! Anyways, Bigendered. A person whose gender identity is a combination of male man and female woman. Binding. The process of one flattening one's breast to have a more masculine or flat-appearing chest. Bisexual. Persons who are capable of feeling attraction to and engaging in relationships with any people of the sex. It's different from pansexuality. Totally different from pansexuality, which we will actually get into. Bottom. Self-explanatory. You're more submissive. You're in the bottom instead of A butch. A person who identifies themselves as masculine, whether it be physical, mentally, or emotionally. Butch is sometimes used as a derogatory term for lesbians. Cisgender identified. Refers to a person who does not transcend traditional gender boundaries, or a person who by nature or by choice conforms to gender-based expectations of society. It is referred to people who are not transgender without saying not transgender identified. A cross-dresser. Basic. You dress the opposite sex. Down low. In the closet. Yeah. I've never heard down low. I've always heard of in the closet. So. A drag. The performance of one or more multiple genders theatrically. Personally, for drag, I don't have an issue with it. But, like, when I see it, and I get jealous. Like, I see a guy, like, dressing, like, as a woman, and I'm like, you look so much better than me. How is that possible? I get so jealous of them. A drag king. A person who performs masculinity theatrically. A drag queen. A person who performs femininity. A dyke. A derogatory term for lesbians. This was used mainly in like the 60s, 70s, 80s. We don't use it anymore. We use lesbian. This next one I can't even say, so we're gonna skip it. Basically, it's a derogatory term for gay. Seriously? This next one, it's a term primarily used to describe women who prefer the social company of a gay man. While this term is claimed an information matter by some, it is always regarded as derogatory. I can't say it because it's so rude. Let's see. That one, right there. Yeah, those. I can't. No, I can't say it. Femme, feminine identified person of any gender or sex. Fluid, a term used to describe one's sexuality as malleable or possibly changing over time. Also sometimes denotes a person's attraction to multiple kinds of gender expression and gender identities. F2M and FTM, F/FT2M, abbreviation for female to male, transgender, or transsexual person. Huh, I didn't know that. Gay. I think we know what that means. Gender. I really hope you guys know what gender is. If you don't, characteristics that are culturally associated with manliness or femaleness. Yeah. Gender binary. The idea that there are only two genders, male and female, or man-woman, and that person must be strictly gendered as either or. Gender cues. What human beings use to attempt to tell the gender sex of another person. Examples include hairstyles, gait, vocal inflection, body shapes, etc. Gender expression. The same thing as cues, but it's more about the external characteristics and the behaviors of a person. Gender identity, basically what you identify as your gender. Next is gender role. Arbitrary rules assigned by a given culture that defines what clothing, behaviors, thoughts, feelings, relationships, etc. are considered appropriate and inappropriate for members of each sex. Gender variant, a person who either by nature or by choice does not conform to gender-based expectations of society. Example, transgender identified persons, transsexual identified persons, intersex, genderqueer, crossdresser, etc. Genderqueer, a gender variant person whose gender identity is neither male nor female, is between or beyond genders or in some combinations of genders. Hermaphrodite, an out-of-date and politically incorrect term for an intersex person. Do not use this term unless otherwise told so. I did not know that. I thought hermaphrodite was the correct word. I'm so sorry. Normativity. There we go. The assumption in individuals or institutional that everyone is heterosexual. Nope. Homosexual. It's basically lesbian or gay, a person primarily emotionally, physically, and or sexually attracted to members of the same sex. Yeah. Identity sphere. The idea that gender identities and expressions do not fit on a linear scale, but rather on a scale that allows room for all expression without weighting on any or expression is better than the other. Intergender. A person whose gender identity is between genders and or a combination of genders. Lesbian. Self-explanatory. Try that again. Lipstick lesbian. Usually refers to a lesbian with a feminine gender expression. Can be used in a positive or derogatory way depending on who is using it. It's sometimes also used to refer to a lesbian who is seen as automatically passing for heterosexual. A male lesbian. A male-bodied person who identifies as a lesbian. This differs from a heterosexual male in that a male lesbian is primarily attracted to other lesbians, bisexual, or queer identified people. M to F, MTF, M to F, male to female, and then transsexual person. Outing, involuntary disclosure of one's sexual orientation, gender identity, or intersex status. Packing, wearing a phallic device on the groin and under clothing for any purposes, including for someone without a biological penis, the validation or confirmation of one's masculine gender identity, seduction, and or sexual readiness. Pangendered, a person whose gender identity is comprised of all or many gender expressions. Pansexual, a person who's sexually attracted to all or many gender expressions, so like everything. Passing, describes a person's ability to be accepted as their preferred gender or sex, or to be seen as heterosexual. Potato queen. What? I guess that's a thing. A gay man who prefers white sexual or romantic partners. This term should be used with caution. Polymonal refers to having honest, usually non-possessive relationships with multiple partners. Queer one. Oh. Okay. I didn't see that there was two things. Queer, an umbrella term which embraces a matrix of sexual preferences, orientations, and habits of the not exclusive heterosexual and monogamous majority. Second one, this term is sometimes used as a sexual orientation label instead of bisexual, as a way of acknowledging that there are more than two genders to be attracted to. 3. A reclaimed word that was formerly used solely as a slur. So also use this word really cautionarily. Like, I don't even use it. Because like I have friends who are part of this community as well as myself. And we are like, no. Same gender loving. It's a term sometimes used by members of the African American community to express an alternate sexual orientation not relying on terms and symbols of European descent. Okay. Cool. Sex. Not the fucking. Usually refers to one's biological or physical sex. Sex identity, how you, like, the person identifies physically. Sexual orientation, it's your orientation of bisexuality, basically. She-male. Never, ever, ever use this term. It's a derogatory term for transsexual. Never, ever, ever, ever say she-male or like he female or he she or she he. Never, ever, ever. Never. Call them by what they are. Like if they're a female to male, him. Male to female, her. Or whatever their pronoun is. Always ask their pronouns. I can't say this. I can't say this. I'm gonna write it. Hopefully I can. Yes. P. That. Pronouns. Basically, what that is new terms proposed to serve as gender neutral, third person singular personal pronouns in English. Cool. Stealth. This term refers to when a person chooses to be secretive in the public sphere about their gender history, either after transitioning or while successfully passing. STEM. A person whose gender expression falls somewhere between a stud and a femme. Stone butch or femme. A person who may or may not desire sexual penetration and or contact with the genitals or breasts. Sure, that's what I might be. I don't, well, I'm asexual, so yeah. Straight. Heterosexual. Stud. An African American and or Latina masculine lesbian, also known as butch or aggressive. A switch. It's basically if you switch between dominance and submissiveness. A top, more dominant. Trans activism. The politically and social movement to create equality for gender variant persons. Transgender. An umbrella term which refers to people who transgress or challenge societal gender norms in various ways. The term is inclusive of many subcategories such as gay and heterosexual, cross-dressers, transsexuals, transgender identified people, etc. A trans man. Basically, it's a label adopted by female to male transsexuals to signify that they are male while still affirming their history as females. Transsexual. A person who identifies psychologically as a gender sex other than the one that they are assigned to at birth. Transvestite. A person who dresses in clothing generally identified with the opposite sex. A trans woman. It's a term that was labeled by male to females, transsexuals, to signify that they are women while still affirming their history as males. Two-spirited. It's a native person who have attributes of both genders having distinct gender and social roles in their tribes. Higher. Alternate pronouns. Here. Okay, that's awful. Alternate pronouns that are gender neutral. It's pronounced Z and here. They replace he, she, his, her, respectively. But like I said again, ask for their pronouns. Like I go by she, her. Homophobia, biphobia, transphobia, aphobia, etc. Fear of homosexuals and homosexuality, bisexuality, asexuality, and bisexuality, transgender, asexuality, identified people, and a hatred, disgust, and prejudice fostered by that fear. Heterosexism. Systems of oppression of LGBTQIA people on a personal, social, and institutional-based level of the assumption that everyone should be heterosexual. No. Heterosexual privileges. Actual promised societal benefits according to individuals who identify as heterosexual. So, there's going to be a lot of cool, things that are going to be going on. And I simply can't wait. At first, though, we will be, observing it. So we can get, just a grasp of what we're supposed to do. So this should be really, really cool, and I seriously can't wait. I'll put down in the description box, each of these terms, probably along with, the definition as well, in case, you want to know more or whatever, or you just want to read it. So, yeah, look for that, and I will see you guys Wednesday. Just tomorrow, or if you are already in tomorrow, yeah, these time zones fuck me up. So remember, subscribe, comment, share, whatever. And like I said, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.